Hey friends, what's up? It's your buddy Keith. I am live again in the control room at Essex Recording Studios, just outside London in Southend-on-Sea, England. I've got a really cool, very rare bass to share with you guys. It's a fretless bass from one of the most famous bass players known to man. Some would say the most famous, the most influential. A guy who died way too young, Jaco Pastorius or Jaco Pastorius, depending on how you pronounce it. Yeah, this is a tribute model. They didn't make a lot of these. They're very hard to come by. They're very hard to come by in this condition. And the fretboard on this it's got to be the nicest rosewood fretboard I've ever seen. Look at the streaks and the grain pattern. It is just incredible. If you're new to the channel, click like, hit subscribe, come join our family here online. There's almost 8,000 of us at the time of this video. It's 2021, we're in the new year, and it's time to make some new friends and see some cool instruments. I show you up close as if you were holding them in your very own hands. All right, so the last and first Jaco Pastorius bass that we had was actually the very rare Studio City model. They didn't make a lot of them, and we found one. We found this in the same place at the same auction, very famous auction here in the UK. So when this one came up, I said, yeah, I have to have it. There was so much interest in the last one. So many people loved it that I said, this one's clean. We love the burst on this, and the fretboard is insane. We got to get this one too for the fans. Yes, so Jaco or Jaco comes from my neck of the woods, Florida, and he died unfortunately after a bar fight. You know, I don't know much about him other than what I've read online after buying the last bass, because it was I was just curious. You know, I don't know everything about anyone, even though yes, I'm in the music business. I was not familiar with him at all, and it's really interesting because he kind of made the jazz bass famous and brought new life into it in his era. And apparently there is one, his main one is still out there floating around somewhere, where he pawned it because he's always having money problems. He seems like a guy that had a lot of personal problems, and was constantly pawning and selling and buying and selling instruments to get a few bucks free to pay a bill or whatever. And his main guitar is still floating around somewhere out there. No one has any idea where it is. It's $1 million bass, if you could ever track it down. And who knows if we'll ever see it. It could have been thrown away years ago, and it's sitting in a landfill somewhere in America. But this is a tribute that Fender's done, a nice, beautiful reissue, where I guess this would be something similar to what would have been new that Jaco would have played. It's hard for me to say Jaco or Jaco. I think that's how it was pronounced, but coming from Florida, where everyone speaks Spanish, you know, it's Jaco in my mind. Yeah, but anyway, this thing is great. You've got loads of paperwork. You've got the ashtray, giant Fender ashtray cover. These things have never been installed. You can see there's no screw holes on the side. That's up to you if you want to do it. There's a thumb rest as well. There's a little packet of mutes too. You've got your hang tag with the tribute serial number. So on the scale of where does this fall, so yes, USA made. The tribute series, as far as I understand, are custom shop level instruments that are run as like a special limited edition. You've even got custom shop paperwork for the finish, kind of like a what FSR Fender words are hard, Fender special run. You know, the back plate is totally unique. It's got his signature on it. You have a vintage 60s style 4-bolt neck plate with a very different, totally different serial number structure than a production American instrument. You know, no serial number on the back of the headstock. 60s one-piece maple neck. Just gorgeous, guys. Really, really pretty. This thing's in excellent condition. And, you know, I don't see any chips on it. It's got a few little marks in the lacquer that would probably just rub out. Just little marks from just being picked up and handled. But, I mean, the grain is beautiful. The burst pattern is beautiful on this. Yeah, nicest fretless bass I think I've ever seen. The Studio City one was cool. That one, if I'm trying to remember, I haven't looked at the video in a long time, and I sold it a while ago. But I think that one was a bit more like road worn from the factory. This one is like walking into a guitar store in 1964 and getting a bass brand new right off the shelf, right off the wall. Absolutely stunning. You've got the vintage style Fender case. There you go, with the Fender logo. And yeah, I mean, G&G makes all of their custom shop cases. Just a very, very beautiful, rare, and valuable investment-worthy piece from a guy who's just legendary to bass players. And specifically, you know, if you guys know him really well, know his history, I'd love to hear more comments. But my understanding is he pretty much exclusively played fretless bass, and that he was kind of the guy that really took the stand-up bass mentality and method of playing and applied it to fretless electric bass and made it popular and made it mainstream. You can read a lot about him on Wikipedia. You know, there's some books about him. And, of course, you can listen to his music. Just very, very wild guy, way ahead of his time. And unfortunately just had a tragic end way too young. I don't know how popular he was at the height of his career while he was alive, but he definitely became way more famous, way more legendary after his death. And it's a shame that he's not around to see how much impact he's had on bass playing and bass players, and that, you know, Fender are making his signature model. Yeah, it's always a bummer when the artist doesn't get to experience it and witness all of that achievement and success in their own lifetime. So frustrating. But anyway, guys, I thought you'd get a kick out of this. I wanted to show you the condition. That the fretboard, to me, is the star of the show on this. I'm going to get this in the light over here a little bit more so you can, let's see here. Just move this chair around. There we go. Yeah, look, this fretboard looks crazy. I've never seen a piece of rosewood that looks like that. I'm guessing this is the Brazilian rosewood that they pay the big bucks for with the import fees. There's now exemption from sites on rosewood and Brazilian rosewood for musical instruments. That took years of political lobbying from music industry, manufacturers, dealers. That took a lot of money, a lot of lobbying, and we finally got some rational common sense employed when it comes to the importing and exporting of musical instruments and used musical instruments. This isn't what's, you know, ruining the rainforest. It's not fretboards on premium musical instruments. It's yeah. Well, I'm just glad that we don't have to worry about this, and there's not a bunch of bureaucracy and paperwork and fees and permits you have to pay for and apply for anymore these days. Wherever you are in the world, if you want this, we can send it to you. What a beautiful, beautiful instrument. Cool, guys. The knobs as well. Everything's premium. Everything on this is just super nice. Show you that bridge. Saddles there are ribbed, which I don't recall seeing saddles so ripped like that, but I guess it's just so that you can really position them, the string spacing, exactly to your liking. Very, very cool. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to get going. I'm going to skedaddle. We've got way more videos to do for you. I think you know exactly what this looks like in person. You know the condition. If you want to buy this, we're going to put it on Reverb and on our website, EssexRecordingStudios.com. I think there's a little, was there? No, it's just dust. I thought I saw a rub mark there, but it was just dust. Yeah, I mean, this thing's just super, super clean. It's mint, aside from a couple little like smudge marks, fingerprints and stuff. I'd still categorize it as mint. Is there any? Yeah, I mean, it's just a little dusty. Absolutely. Just have one more look around on the headstock, make sure I'm not missing anything for the condition. Yeah, I'm not seeing any chips, any scratches. You know, no hairlines. The neck pocket, no, neck pocket looks all good. Just a little bit of dust. Yeah, a little bit of crud or something there. Nothing. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say this is mint, guys. Beautiful, beautiful guitar. All right, I'm out of here. Thanks for watching. Follow us on the socials at Essex Recording Studios, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. We'll see you soon.